I'm back. I know. I'm looking for something up. Now, folks, what's her name? Heather Nauert? Nauert? Is that her name? Heather Nauert? She's a spokesperson for the State Department, okay? Now, the State Department is, Sam, if you come across my favorite picture, don't hesitate, put it up. But Heather is the spokesperson for the State Department. Now, the media wants you to believe that, ratchet down the rhetoric, that the world is concerned, the whole entire world is concerned. Australia is concerned. South Korea is concerned. Japan, the leader of Japan. The whole world's concerned on what we will do. And they're trying to use diplomatic channels to try to avert this possible military disaster. This Mattis said, he could end the North Koreans' existence, period, just end it, okay? Mattis's mother of all bombs, James Mattis, could end their existence, their people as they know them today. It could be gone, all right? And we are looking for a president. Oh, that's my favorite picture. Sam, you know that, right? Oh, just try. That is, now that's what you call, that is a spokesperson. But let me tell you something. I know how it sounds when I say this is my favorite picture. This is a very nice lady. I want you to hear her push back on Andrea Mitchell of ABC. Now, everybody's attacking the president, need to ratchet down the rhetoric, ratchet it down, right? They're concerned, the world is concerned with President Trump's statements. Let me tell you something. The governor of Guam is not concerned. The congressman that was here is not concerned. There's many not concerned. But you always have John McCain, okay? Wanted to be president, couldn't be president, and now he's the summer resistance. Yeah. John McCain is part of the resistance movement, whether you want to believe it or not. Okay, there was somebody said to me that just a source, an unnamed source, that when when John McCain gave his thumbs down on the bill, he said to somebody there, "Now let's see Donald Trump make America great again. What's he going to do with that?" or something like that. Yeah, he's a nasty old man. Nasty old man. But anyhow, they want to use diplomatic channels, and everybody, the first thing they want to do is say when Donald Trump tweets out, he is surprising everybody. He's surprising his chief of staff. He's surprising his generals. He's surprising his Secretary of Defense, Rex Tillerson at the State Department. So Andrea Mitchell is going to make sure she could figure out how the president did something wrong here in his rhetoric about North Korea. Go ahead, let's play this video of the State Department, and I'll let you know when to end it.
Hi, could I follow up? The secretary's call was, though, well after the fire and fury language. Senator McCain and others, Republicans and Democrats, have complained that it was, quote, bombastic in Senator Feinstein's view, not helpful, said Senator McCain, that no other president, not Eisenhower, not Reagan, no other president that he knew of would have used such language. And the implication from all of the critics is that the president's language implied the use of nuclear force. Is that the way the secretary read it? And did the secretary have any early warning from his earlier phone call that this was going to happen? Or did he only speak to the president in the aftermath?
He spoke to the president after the fact, after the president made his announcement. You know, as people look at this, and some consider comments to have been alarming, I would have to go back to this. Let's consider what is alarming. What is alarming: 2 ICBM tests in less than a month, 2 nuclear tests that took place last year. As a matter of fact, when there's an earthquake in China, I get many emails and calls from all of you asking, was it another nuclear test? That is how big of a deal this is, that what is going on. Let me just follow up. Let me finish. Okay, please. Sure. It is a big deal what is going on. It is a concern to the world, not just the United States. Those are alarming actions. They are provocative actions on the part of North Korea.
My question is, given those provocations from North Korea, which has been belligerent in the extreme, granted, stipulated, is it helpful or unhelpful for the president to use the kind of language that we have seen previously coming from Kim Jong-un, not from presidents of the United States? Is he exacerbating the
president spoke to him, to Kim Jong-un, in a language that Secretary Tillerson has said, and said this morning, in the kind of language that Kim Jong-un will understand. We would like to see results. The pressure campaign, we see that working. The international community is in agreement with the United States and many of our partners and allies on putting additional pressure on North Korea. The Secretary happens to be coming back from the ASEAN conference where they had tremendous success. It was a good week for diplomacy. I know you all want to obsess over statements and all of that and try to want to make a lot of noise out of that, but what is important to keep in mind is that this diplomatic pressure at ASEAN, at the meeting of the 10 Asian nations along with the United States, came to a joint agreement and a joint statement and put out a very strong condemnation of North Korea. We are all singing from the same hymn book.
A lot of us have reported on the success of that effort at the UN and in ensuing days. That doesn't take away from that to question the lack of a national security interagency process in this instance with a presidential statement that has perhaps undercut the previous success.
I don't know that I would agree with you on that. Okay,
So
next question.
We're all singing from the same hymn book. You're obsessed over the statements. 2 nuclear tests. That's what's alarming. All right, folks, listen. The fact of the matter is, they do not want, the media does not want us to be strong. They don't want us to be strong. They don't want us to be the leader in the world. They don't want us to say, they don't want us to be a superpower. They just don't. I mean, you think I am so far off the mark. They're not okay with us being a superpower. They're not okay with us. You know, they are looking for every way whatsoever to say Obama would not have done this. Obama would have walked away from a red line. Obama's toughest comment was, there's a line in the sand. And he could not even hold that or keep the enemy from crossing the line in the sand with chemical weapons. So that being said, you know, fire and fury, it was a bombastic. See, Andrea Mitchell is not interested in anything whatsoever about Guam. She's not interested if the missiles that, I told you this yesterday, so we'll stay on this just a minute. I want to tell you, just reiterate, yesterday, the demilitarized zone. Now, you've lived probably your whole life, and many of you out there have never discussed or paid attention to what's called the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. Now, the war ended for South Korea, and they went on with, you know, opened a democracy, and they went on with a capitalism. That's the big word. Wow, where's that at? Hey, Kia, Hyundai, Seoul, South Korea. I mean, this is a flourishing country here, economically very strong. But the North never ended that war. Okay, that in their mind, that war did not end. Okay, it did not end. The demilitarized zone is not something that they accepted. All right, they do not think the war is over. They never have. They have missiles. 20 million people are 33 miles away from hundreds of missiles and thousands of troops that the North Koreans are on that line ready to go. So we talk about Guam, yes. We talk about launching missiles into the Sea of Japan or over Japan, yes. We talk about missiles that could hit Alaska, okay? Yes, they could, all right? We talk about missiles that could hit the West Coast. Hawaii's in fear. 8 to 12 minutes. Hawaii has 8 to 12 minutes. But you know what? He could kill 20 million people in the next 15 minutes. I hate to say it that way, in Seoul, South Korea. And he can launch thousands of missiles right there on the demilitarized zone border 33 miles away and just start killing millions. Okay? So that being said, okay, we have to do something. Nothing from Andrea Mitchell on that. Nothing at all. So the world, she tells you we are all singing from the same hymn book. Congressman says we're all singing from the same hymn book. You're obsessing over a statement that was bombastic. And she looked right back and said, let me tell you what's alarming here. 2 nuclear tests, and the list goes on. That's what's alarming, not the president saying fire and fury. We need a president of the United States. The American people are ready for a president of the United States. We dropped the mother of all bombs. He didn't play no games. Remember that one? Dropped it. Okay? ISIS is on the run. Do you ever hear any positive about how Donald Trump and this military, his generals as he calls it, they're clearing ISIS out? You hear any positives on that? No. You don't hear that. Okay? This president, I think what China is saying today, and they're stopping to think about, China is probably saying, you know what? This guy's just crazy enough to do it. Now, Mattis said the U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis issued a drastic ultimatum to North Korea on Wednesday, okay, on Wednesday, to cease any consideration of actions that would lead to the end of its regime and destruction of its people. Strong words that came just the day after President Donald Trump warned that the U.S. could unleash fire and fury on Pyongyang. There you go. That's it, folks. Mattis said it. He will end their existence. I don't like to come and say the same thing over and over and over. You wouldn't want to watch the show. But please, somebody discuss the fact that this happened, Bill Clinton and Madeleine Albright. Bill Clinton and Madeleine Albright. 24 years of failed policy. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. And yes, we have no choice. Donald Trump has to do something about it. China can handle it, or we will. And he's already said that. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a brief break because I want to talk about Paul Manafort before we close. I promised that. I want to talk about that, and I want to look around at a couple other things to make sure I'm up to date on what's happening before we close. Sam, take us to break.